So, my dear friend, what have you been fearful about? What is your greatest fear? I want you to grab a pen and paper and think about that for a few minutes. Really ponder upon it and write it down. What has kept you back because you were uncertain or fearful? Today, we want to talk about a face off with fear. And why are we addressing this? Because yours truly would have allowed fear to keep me from moving forward, creating the life I wanted, doing the things that I desired to do. So I'm Giselle Johnny, author, speaker, life coach, and entrepreneur, and I'm here to inspire you to overcome those fears, face it head on, and accomplish the dreams. One of the greatest discoveries a man can make, one of his great surprises, is to find that he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. And this comes from a very great man in history called Henry Ford. People thought he couldn't do it. People told him it was impossible, the journey he was embarking upon. And guess what? Humanity went from the caravan stage into getting cars because Mr. Henry Ford refused to allow fear to keep him from going forward. Fear is the reason why many people don't live their dreams, stay in their comfort zone, and don't move forward at all. It is a response to physical and emotional danger. What is the danger? Embarrassment. What can be so hard in terms of if we don't hit the target and in terms of if we don't be able to succeed the things we set out to do? Think about it. I want you to answer that question. What are you really fearful about? What is the worst thing can happen if you don't accomplish it? I guess you can just try again, right? But it's not that easy. The thing about fear is that for many people, it causes a great amount of anxiety. It can paralyze you and force you to just stay in that place, comfort, just not move at all. And it causes so many people to just not want to move because they're worried about how will things turn out. We simply have to deal with however it turns out when we embark upon something. Isn't that how life really is? Sometimes you don't expect to hear that news about being ill or a loved one, or you don't expect to hear that news about something happening with your job or your organization. But when it happens, we deal with it. And so if we approach fear with the mindset, we are going to launch out, take that leap of faith, leap afraid, as a good friend of mine says. And when we experience a challenge, we are going to face it head on. Learning to deal with today instead of worrying about tomorrow is a really good way to overcome fear. Many times people live too far in the future, worrying about what if, what if, what if. And the thing is, what if it works? What if you succeed? Give yourself that chance to leap forward. Give yourself that chance to not allow fear to cripple you. Learn to deal with today, and that's a good way to avoid anxiety. Fear has its purpose because if we don't feel fear, we are going to end up in danger, right? Think about it, that fire. If you don't fear being burnt as a child, right? When a child touches a fire for the first time, they get burnt, and so they realize, I'm afraid, I'm not going to touch that fire, right? And so yes, fear can protect us, but it can limit us and it can paralyze us. And so I want to encourage you today to use your fear of something. Maybe it's spiders, maybe it's fear of writing, fear of speaking. If you're afraid to speak publicly, I want to ask you, just get on your Facebook page, do a Facebook Live and share something. Maybe you can share about, this was the best Christmas ever. And I want to just encourage people through COVID who have experienced loss through Christmas, or I want to just speak on something. Just remember the reason for the season, whatever it is. Get on Facebook, share something. If you have a fear of talking to people, if you have that phobia or social phobia, I want to encourage you to face that fear. Write that email, do whatever it is that you're afraid to do, because the best way to deal with fear is to overcome it by taking action. All right. And so most people fear what they don't understand. So another way to get rid of fear is to increase your knowledge on a particular thing, right? When I decided I wanted to be an author, I went and I learned how to do it. When I decided I wanted to be a coach, I went and I got trained how to do it. When I decided I wanted to start speaking, I went and I enrolled in a program to learn how to speak professionally. And right, so I want to encourage you, whatever it is that you want to do, gaining the knowledge and the skills to do that thing correctly limits fear. It really resolves a lot of the fear and the anxiety you feel. So I want to invite you to join me for our Path2Purpose Blueprint webinar coming up soon. I want you to click on the link below, join another group, join in this group of kingdom builders, people who are aspiring leaders and just want to make a difference in the world using their unique gifts and ability as authors, coaches, speakers, nonprofit ministers, passion projects, art, whatever it is that you desire to do. Do not be afraid. It is time to make a difference in the world, because you can bring somebody joy and bring somebody a good solution by using that gift which is on the inside of you. So don't be apprehensive. Don't let life weigh you down. Don't be affected by fear of failure. Take the leap today. Join us. Click on the Path2Purpose Blueprint webinar and join a community of other kingdom builders who want to move past that place of self-sabotage. So we encourage you, let's come together and let's attract positivity. Let's attract growth. Let's attract development. Let's attract the realization of your goal and your vision. Join me on that Path2Purpose Blueprint. Don't be afraid of being accepted. Don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of what other people think. Rise up, be you, because there's only one you, and there will never be another you.